Hey everyone, Karolyne Roberts here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 10 signs that you can be looking out for to know whether or not you are in a toxic relationship. First off, I want to preface this video by saying that if you find that you have one or two of these signs, then maybe that's something that you and your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, you guys can work on it together or talk about those things, have a conversation, and see which ways you can improve. But if you see that you're having a lot of these signs, like 4, 5, 6, then it's just a warning to you to really look at your health, look at your life, look at the situation, and get out of that toxic situation. Run away. The first sign of a very toxic relationship that I want to share is a relationship in which there is abuse. Now, this can be physical abuse where your partner is hitting you, or this could be verbal abuse. I actually was in a relationship where I experienced verbal abuse where my boyfriend would put me down, or he would say things to manipulate me or manipulate different things that I did, would make me feel like I'm less than the woman that I am. So if you're in a relationship where it just seems like the person is always beating on you, they're always taking their anger out on you, they're speaking negative, they're calling you names, then that is a sure sign of a toxic relationship. If you are dating someone who has those characteristics, it's a red flag. That may not be the person that you want to marry. The next sign that I want to talk about is if you are unequally yoked. So, for example, if you are a Christian and your boyfriend or girlfriend is a Muslim, or they don't believe in Jesus, or they don't share the same belief system as you, that doesn't sound like it'll be a problem, but eventually that will be a problem. The Bible says, how can two walk together if they are not agreed? When you have two different beliefs, two different mindsets, it's hard to keep the unity in your relationship, and eventually, somewhere, somehow, you guys are going to be, doing different things, going down different paths. And when you are dating someone or courting someone, it's for the purpose and intention of marriage. And in marriage, you become one. You become unified. So you want to make sure from the get-go that you are in a relationship with someone that you can see yourself becoming one with someone who will build you up in your faith, who will build you up in your beliefs, not pull you away, to something else, not pull you away down their own path, but you guys are working towards the same goals. You guys have the same mindset and the same vision. So if you are in a relationship with someone who you are unequally yoked with, definitely take that as a red flag, and maybe it's just not the time. Maybe it's just not the time for you guys to be in a relationship. When I first met my husband, we were unequally yoked, and that was one of the main reasons that I broke up with him. First time, we were dating and stuff. But it wasn't until later down the road when God changed and transformed his life and we became on the same page. That's when we moved forward into a relationship and then moved forward into marriage. So you want to make sure that you are equally yoked with the person that you are in a relationship with. So the next one is a big one, and I actually get comments and messages all the time about this one. If you are in a relationship with someone who doesn't respect your boundaries for purity, with someone who is pressuring you to have sex, with someone who is pressuring you to do things that you've already had a conversation with them and said, I do not want to cross that line, run, guys, run. Like, seriously, the Bible says to flee fornication. So literally, if someone is pressuring you into this, you need to flee that relationship. You need to leave that relationship. Maybe they're just not ready. It's just not the time, or they don't respect you enough to be patient. They don't respect you enough, to respect your boundaries and to wait until marriage, or to wait until it's the right time. If you stay put in that relationship, eventually they're going to keep nagging and nagging at it, and eventually you just may fall into sin. And God forbid, you fall into sin with someone who's not even going to be your husband, who's not even going to be your wife. Like, from the get-go, if you share that this is not what you want to do, you don't want to have sex before marriage, you don't want to fornicate, etc., and the person is not feeling it and they're like, why? Like, I don't get it. That is my third, sure sign that maybe it's just not meant to be, or maybe it's just not the time for a relationship with this person. The fourth sign is someone who pulls you away from God. Okay, so this may be subtly, you may not really notice it. Like, you may say, hey, it's Saturday, I want to go to bed so I can wake up for church early tomorrow morning and go serve. And they may say, oh, you don't got to go to church. We're the church. You don't have to actually go to church and fellowship and stuff like that. It'll be fine if you miss this Sunday. They're pulling you away from God. Or if you say, hey, I'm about to have quiet time, just want to spend some time with God right now. And they just continue texting you or on the phone with you. Like, they don't say, okay, babe, let's talk later. I want you to spend time with God. They continue the conversation for a whole nother hour, not realizing how important it is for you to have that time with God. Like, subtle things like that, like, they disregard your relationship with God. They disregard the fact that you're trying to grow in prayer, that you're trying to grow in, Christian community, and they kind of pull you away from that. You want to be careful of that, because it may be like subtle things that you don't really notice, but over time, you find yourself at the club with this person, you find yourself in this person's bed, and it may even be someone who's in the church. You're like, I thought you were a Christian, but we're going down the wrong path. I thought that we were equally yoked. I thought we shared the same beliefs, but it's like you're acting more as a distraction than you are pushing me towards God. This relationship is becoming an idol more than it is glorifying God. So at that point, guys, when the relationship becomes an idol, at that point when the person is putting themselves in God's place, becoming a distraction. You say you want to spend time with God, but they want to be on the phone till 3 a.m, okay? Then that's a sure sign, that's a red flag that maybe this relationship needs to be cut off. It's just not it. Number 5, the fifth sign that you are in a toxic relationship, or it's just not even a relationship worth your time, it's not a relationship that you need to be in, is when the person doesn't believe in you. They don't support you, and they don't push you to be a better person. Like, when was the last time this person showed up for you to cheer you on? When was the last time this person encouraged you to, practice your giftings, practice your writing, practice your instrument? When was the last time they showed up to a practice? Did they show up to your graduation? When was the last time they motivated you to go after something that you thought you weren't good enough for, or you were afraid that you might lose, and they pushed you to get out of your comfort zone? They pushed you to be a better person. They pushed you to develop your giftings and your talents. These people, they pull some things out of you that you don't even notice that are there, but they say, I recognize that you're really good at cooking, or I recognize that you have this gift. I recognize that you'll be an amazing speaker. When was the last time that you're with someone who saw those things in you, who saw those elements and those giftings, and they pushed you closer to your purpose? If you're with someone who never recognizes anything that God is doing inside of you, who doesn't recognize different parts of your purpose, who isn't able to push you and encourage you and speak life into you and say, you're capable of doing more, you're capable of accomplishing this and that. I was in one relationship with a guy who was like, you'll never be anything. Why would you even consider going to college? So if you have someone who looks down on you, who doesn't believe in you, honey, get out of that relationship. That is not marriage material. That is not marriage status. Because when God puts two people together, it's for a purpose. So your spouse in advance is going to be able to recognize parts of you in relation to your purpose, even when you may not even recognize it. They should be able to see those things. So find someone who pushes you, find someone who encourages you, and anyone who tears you down, who doesn't believe in you, who doesn't help you grow in your giftings and your callings, they ain't the one. This is a big one, number 6. So if you've been in a relationship with someone for a while, like it's been like a few years, it's been a year, and they don't really know you, like they haven't really taken the time to listen to you, to learn you. Like you've been telling them your favorite color over and over. You've been telling them your shoe size, all this different stuff. And they're not getting it. Like they always forget everything. You share with them your deepest memories, what happened in your childhood. And then when it comes up again, they're like, oh, I forgot you told me that. Oh, really? They're not listening to you. They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't know you. They're not taking the time to really learn you and grow with you and develop. I remember I had one ex-boyfriend and I was just so mad because on one birthday, he got me something that I hated. Not that I was ungrateful, but when he got me that gift, it made me realize how much he doesn't really know me. Not only was it the wrong size, it was a color that I hate, that I dislike. It was not my style. I was like, you do not know me. Like, you do not listen to me. This is one of the favorite things that I love about my husband. Sometimes I feel like he knows me more than I know myself because I'll forget like different things and he'll be like, babe, remember you like your food this way? Babe, remember this? And I'm like, you really know me, babe. Like, I love you so much. You want someone that you'll be able to grow with and someone who is willing to learn you, who is willing to date you, get closer to you. You don't want someone who don't listen, who's not paying attention. It's like, why are you in the relationship? It's supposed to be relation with two people. So if you're in a relationship but it's just all about you, it's just you want to have sex, it's just all about you, but you're not really getting to know the person, then there's no point of being in that relationship. Number 7 sign that this is not a person you should be in a relationship with is this person is selfish, okay? It's always about them. You're always showing up for them. You pick them up at 3 in the morning at their friend's house. They don't appreciate it. You're always buying them stuff, spending money on them. I've been there, I've done that, okay? You're always doing things for them. You're always showing up for them. But when you ask them one thing, it's like, I don't feel like it. When it's finally that time to show up for you, it's like, I got something else to do. So you make them a priority. You're always there for them, always showing up for them. But when it's down, when it's down to that time for them to show up for you, it's like they don't come through. It's like they drop the ball. Stop wasting your time, honey boo. Just stop wasting your time. If you're not a priority for them now, most likely they're cheating. Most likely they have some other priorities. Most likely something else is more important than you are to them. In this time, find someone who will value your time, who will value you, who will show up for you as much as you show up for them. So number 8, a sign that this is a toxic relationship, okay? When there is bad communication, you guys don't even know how to talk. It may be that you're just so busy having sex and stuff that you don't even talk. Like, you don't talk, you don't know how to argue. When you guys get into an argument, you run away, you get in your car, you drive away. You don't sit down and have full-blown conversations. You don't really listen to the other person's heart or what they're feeling. You don't know how to communicate. Like, the communication is not there. You don't listen to each other. You don't give each other a chance to explain themselves. Your arguments just turn into fist fights, or your arguments just turn into hanging up the phone. I'm not talking to you for 2 weeks because you got me mad. You want to be in a relationship with someone who is willing to listen. You want to be in a relationship with someone who's willing to fight through the arguments. And this is very important for marriage. When you get married, you are with that person. You live with that person. You can't just run away and do your own thing. Y'all got to work through it. Y'all got to talk it out. Y'all got to work on it. So if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend where it's like you guys have never, ever had a grown-up conversation, when conflict happens, you guys don't know how to resolve it. You can't have a grown-up conversation and say, okay, how can we do better? How can we move forward? You can't say sorry. You don't know how to apologize. You don't know how to say, it's my bad, I could have did better. Like, if it's just pride, if it's just two prideful heads butting together, like no one says sorry, no one wants to call back, oh, he got to call me first, I ain't going to call him, then I don't know if that's working, guys. We have to work on our communication in relationships if we want to learn how to resolve things and leave the past behind and just keep moving forward. And also, including with communication, what I was saying about communication, someone who's always bringing up the past. If you keep bringing up the past, that means that something is wrong with our communication. Because I said, I'm sorry. I thought we got over it. I thought we were moving forth. But you keep bringing up the past. Remember when you did this? I don't trust you because you did that. Remember? Okay. When you guys talk about it and it's squashed, we forgive each other and it's put in the past. But if your communication in your relationship, it's like there is this barrier of communication, like y'all cannot talk, y'all don't know how to argue fairly, y'all, all you can do is cuss each other out, then maybe that is not the best relationship. Maybe it's a toxic environment, or maybe you guys have to learn, how can we communicate better? How can we be more patient with one another to develop in this relationship? So this is a big one. So if you are in a relationship with someone who is not showing much change or progress, and especially if it's someone who you know has an addiction, it could be anything. They can have a drug addiction, they can have a pornographic addiction, they may have an addiction to sex. So if this person keeps doing the same thing over and over, like they keep watching porn, or they keep having sex and cheating on you, or they keep getting drunk, they can't control their liquor. If they cannot control their addictions, if they cannot control those things in their life, then there's probably some other things that they wouldn't be able to control as well. And the reason why this makes it toxic, this relationship, is because it's going to put a lot of pressure and added stress on you. And maybe they're just not ready to be in a relationship. Maybe the best thing for you to do with that person is leave them alone with God. Leave them alone with God so He can heal them, so they can get delivered, so He can work on that thing. You are not God, okay? You cannot save anybody. And I feel right now that there's some people out there, you are in a toxic relationship with someone who is addicted, who's someone who keeps saying, I'll do better, I'm going to change, I'm going to do better. And they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And you're like, no, I need to show them that I'm there. I need to be a ride or die. I need to show them that I support them, that I'm here for them. But a lot of us are enabling people to keep going down that dark path instead of really helping them to grow. Sometimes you have to stop enabling them and say, you know, I love you, I'm praying for you, but I just feel like we can't be in a relationship right now. And I love myself enough to protect myself from this toxic environment, okay? You don't have to be in that toxic environment. You don't have to pretend that you're God, like you can save this person. Pray for that person, help them get some help, you know, leave them with God, but take yourself out of that toxic situation. And then the last thing that I want to share, you know, a toxic relationship that you probably don't want to be in, probably shouldn't be in, is someone who is unstable. This kind of goes off of what we just said, but a little further. So someone who this week they want to be with you and next week they don't want to be with you. This week they love you, but next week they hate you. Like, y'all been in a relationship for 10 years, but they still can't commit. Like, what is the purpose? What is their goal? What is their vision? This week they want to be a basketball player. The next week they want to be an astronaut. Like, this is going to be crazy, confusing, and stressful for you if you guys continue going along. You want to be in a relationship with someone who knows what they want, who is sure of what they want, who is sure of you, who is sure that they love you, that they want to be with you, that they want to grow with you. Like, their intentions are clear. But if it's always flip-flopping, if it's always something different, why would you allow someone to treat you like you're a second option, like you're a maybe? I am not a maybe. I am a for sure for my husband. And you want to be a for sure, or I'm really considering, you know, for whoever you're with. You don't want to be a maybe, maybe today, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. I mean, in the beginning, I understand. When you first get in a relationship with someone, it takes time to get to know them. You may not be sure. That's okay. But I'm talking about you've been with this person for a while. Or y'all been together since high school, since middle school, and they're still every weekend, every week is something different. Like they're not sure. They're still not sure if they want to be with you. Like they need to make a decision. So I really hope that you guys found these 10 tips, 10 signs that you may be in a toxic relationship helpful. Like I said, no relationship is perfect. No person is perfect, okay? So it's okay if you have some of these struggles. If you're struggling with communication, if you're struggling with they need to make their intentions clear. It's okay if, you have some of these, okay? But if you're like having 5 and 6 and it's just a very toxic environment, protect yourself. You don't have to be in a relationship like that. And it may not be time for that person to be in a relationship either. They may need some more growing to do, more maturing to do, and some more healing to do. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye.